Good morning, friends. Today is going to be a business video just about how I ran Confounded Machine for the last couple of years here. Last year was my first full year. We're in my second year right now, and I'll give as much financial information as I can so you can understand how much money I make selling pens out of my garage, because that's probably helpful to somebody watching this that wants to start their own business and kind of wants to see, what's possible. I mean, everyone's road is different, but I'll give you my road. So my first year running Confounded Machine, I basically made no money. That's not to say I didn't make any profit. I made maybe $30,000 in profit, which is minuscule, but I planned to make zero, and all of that profit went into this place. It kind of vice versa. I spent all the money building up this place, like drywalling it, insulating it, running all the electrical, running all the heating, getting the machines in, getting the machines wired up, buying all the upgrades to make the machines run. And then whatever I generated that year for profit essentially went to pay that all back. I think at the end of the year on the books, I made like $8. I was also in a financial situation where coming into this, I knew that my first year was likely going to be a bust just because of all the things I had planned, and I knew how much I could produce at the time. So I knew it'd be a wash, but it was a risk I was willing to take, and I'm in a financial situation where I could take that risk. I know not everybody is, but that's how it worked for me for that first year anyways. So maybe making like no money in your first year isn't the best idea for a business, but in my sense, I couldn't put enough time into Confounded Machine to grow to the point where it could sustain me while still having a day job. I was just kind of floundering along, making enough pocket change money, but not enough where I could just fully quit my job and sustain myself. So like I said, making that decision of just burning salary for a year made sense in my mind. This second year has been way better. Just these last few months have been the first time that I've hit the point where I basically am making the same amount of income that I was making at my day job. So it takes some time, but I'm also making it with the equipment I never ever thought I'd be able to do it on. I always had planned to buy much larger equipment and just kind of been putting it off, making efficiency gains. And as I got closer to making decent amount of money with the machines I had here, it became more enticing for me just to push ahead with what I have, because I have like zero overhead here, which is really nice to have. And I'm always, every month that I move forward with the equipment I have here is a month that I'm better off buying new equipment, because I have more money for it, I have more income. Like everything gets better. Your loan or lending rates get better if you can put more down. Like just everything gets better if you can just build up more cash to start off with. So yeah, right now, time is my only thing that's holding me back. I am financially well enough where I could put a large piece of equipment in here, and that's very likely the plan in the short term here. There's a couple of machines I'm looking at, but the time is what I don't have right now. The time, because I know it's going to take a few months to get everything dialed in and running as well as it is right now. So it's that's my game. Time is always my enemy. I should also clarify, because people will say, well, wouldn't buying a new machine buy you more time? And yeah, it's essentially true. But the issues I'm going to encounter on a new machine are the same issues that I'm encountering right now, like deep drilling and surface finishes. The Hardinge can produce some fantastic surface finishes. There are some issues with it. For instance, like having a tailstock on the Hardinge would buy me a ton of time, essentially, because it would reduce finishing. It could do a lot more. But physically producing items, the mill can produce more pocket clips and bolt sliders than I need it to. The Hardinge can produce more of the pen parts than I need it to, outside of where I'm kind of struggling. So a piece of equipment would help, but the caliber of equipment that I have to purchase to kind of help solve these issues is fairly spendy, which is fine if it solves my issue, but there's that whole time balance. Like let's say it's $150,000 to buy a new, like a new lathe or something, one that I'm kind of looking at right now. If I took 10% of that money and put it towards just better tooling and just different methods here, would that have a greater impact on my production overall? Probably, because if I bought that piece of equipment right now, unless it solves a specific task, and there's some things that will solve a specific task in theory. Like for instance, having like high pressure through tool coolant for a lot of my deep drilling will help significantly. But like someone had mentioned in an earlier video, gun drills also work well, and even if it's 3 times as slow, right now I can still produce a lot more pens than I can hand finish in a month. So I don't know. It's a point I struggle with like on a monthly basis. Like it's the $1,000,000 question. And I don't want to buy a low end Haas, because I honestly, especially like a Haas lathe, I know the Hardinge can produce tighter tolerance parts and probably better surface finishes. So I don't want to get myself into a position where I'm only buying a moderate step up piece of equipment. I want to buy something significantly better, or something on the used market that's really good. So kind of been looking at both. Like I said, right now, I have the ability to make money and bank it, and then it puts me in a more powerful position to buy equipment going forward. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself. So I'm at a fun position right now where I can generate enough income to basically like produce what a full-time job produces, working relatively full-time-ish job hours, and I can just plod along like that. I don't really have to grow, but I also don't want that. I want to be able to produce more things, and I want to produce, like, for instance, flashlights. Flashlights is something I'm working on right now. It's something I would love to bring into production, and that's more of a driving factor of buying new equipment for me. Is not so much to make what I currently make faster, it's just to be able to bring more products to light. It's because it's fun. Like, who didn't want to do that? I also don't want to go to the point where I need like a larger facility with employees. I just want to be working efficiently here in my garage, reasonable hours a day, with the ability to just leave and go on a field trip with my daughters and still have equipment running. That's my main goal right now. Maybe that'll change in the next year or so, but right now that's my main dream, is just to have my little garage manufacturing facility running away efficiently while I can go for a bike ride if I want. The lathe is keeping me hopping today. My advice, if you're starting your own thing, start. Just start. And it doesn't matter what it is. I guarantee if you're passionate about it, you can probably do it better than what's currently being done out there. A lot of people make a bolt action pen, yet I'm constantly sold out. You just gotta build something decent. And like, if you care about it, you're probably gonna build it better than what's out there. I don't know. That's my best advice, is just start. So many people don't start. That's why I started this whole vlog with saying, like, not someday, today. Like, just don't say you're gonna do it tomorrow. Just start today. Like, don't wait for a New Year's resolution to start. Like, everybody starts things on January 1st because just do it now. If you want to do it, just start it now. If I didn't start making pens, I wouldn't be here. And I'm like the happiest I've ever been, just being in here, making less money than I was making my day job. Like, I work up in like an oil industry area. I can make good money working basically anywhere. I am so happy doing what I'm doing here, even making less. And I mean, it's a marathon. I always tell my wife, like running a decent paying day job is like a sprint. You kind of get to a point and then you're just physically not going to make any more at a certain point. You'll make more with, minor pay raises, but you're not going to like triple your salary. Whereas working for yourself, that's totally a possibility. You could 10 times, you could 100 times whatever you're making right now if you really want to grow to that point. So anyways, that's my, oh, it's waiting on me now. That's my overarching theme for this. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk.